Coming up on Mountain News at 6, we hear from the family of an inmate who died after officials say he was trying to remove snow and ice. And folks in Johnson County mourn another loss, this time a man dedicated to serving his community for decades.
And temperatures will stay in the 20s as we go throughout the day on Thursday, but there's a little bit of relief somewhere on the 10-day. Details coming up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The temperatures are still well below freezing, keeping much of the snow and ice from melting. Many churches canceled Wednesday night services, and some schools have already shut down for the rest of the week. Meteorologist Eric Dean has the latest as our string of First Alert weather days continues.
That's right, Steve. They're going to continue until Sunday as temperatures will drop. By Saturday, we'll see highs in the mid-teens. Snow chances not out of the realm of possibility Friday going into Saturday. This is a scene from earlier today here at the WYMT studios. Start off with a mixture of sun and clouds, then we turn to mainly cloudy as we rolled into the afternoon and into the evening hours. Right now, temperatures are in the teens and 20s. We're at 19 in Jackson, as well as Logan, 21 in Hazard, 27 in Whitesburg, 22 in Williamsburg, 25 in Jonesville. But you factor in that wind, there's a little bit of a bite in the air already in the single digits in Logan, as well as Jackson, Moorhead, and Stanton. So if you have plans tonight, definitely make sure you bundle up as we go into the evening and overnight hours. Look at that. Feels like temperature is going to hover between about 3 to about 5-6 degrees. So make sure as you head out the door tomorrow, you stayed bundled up as well. Live pinpoint Doppler radar, all is quiet throughout eastern Kentucky. But when you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the low to mid teens will greet you. It'll stay partly cloudy with a west wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now there are 40s, thank goodness, somewhere on the 10-day. And I'll tell you when coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, something to look forward to. Eric, thank you. Governor Beshear confirmed 10 people have died in Kentucky as a result of the winter storm, and several of those are here in eastern and southern Kentucky. 3 deaths were out of Johnson County alone, as well as 1 from Pulaski County. Of course, we previously reported on Betty Veach out of Whitley County and Marvin Knuckles, an inmate in Morgan County, and we'll have more about him in just a moment. Governor Beshear also shared the Team Kentucky Storm Relief Fund will offer those families money in order to pay for the funerals. As of 1:30 this afternoon, more than 12,000 Kentuckians still did not have power. The governor said it might take up to a week to get the lights and heat back on, so he urges people to seek out the resources they need.
That we are hearing it might be up to a week before power is fully restored for all those customers. What that means is if you're in that area, you need to prepare. You need to know where your warming center is. You need to be staying with family. You just need to take all the steps necessary to make sure you get through this, even if it's prolonged, because it is going to be dangerously cold, especially at night.
Right now, there are 117 warming centers open across the Commonwealth. A full map of those locations is available online at kym.ky.gov. Now back to one of those weather-related deaths here in our region. An inmate who was working at the Eastern Kentucky Correctional Complex in West Liberty died following a head injury after officials say he was trying to remove ice and snow. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino spoke to family members who do not understand how this could happen.
On Tuesday, Marvin Knuckles, an inmate at the Eastern Kentucky Correctional Complex in West Liberty, tragically died. Knuckles was working with a group of inmates to remove ice and snow debris from the correctional center when he reportedly fell and hit his head. He was taken to the Morgan County ARH, where he was pronounced dead at approximately 7:30 a.m.
We just don't understand. Me and my sister and my girls don't, and my husband, we just don't understand what happened.
Rita Alexander says Marvin was her baby brother, and she said she received the news early Tuesday morning through a voicemail from the chaplain.
I called the prison yesterday and I asked to speak to the warden, and whoever I talked to said he was in a meeting, and I told him while I was calling, and I said, I want to find out, I want to talk to somebody. I want to talk to the warden because I want to know what happened to my brother and I want some answers.
Rita says she has asked for camera footage, but she claims she was told there were no cameras in the area.
I've cried till my eyes are swollen, and I don't know. Everything's running through my mind. I can't comprehend what they saying has happened. It just don't make any sense. It wouldn't make no sense to any family.
And why he was out shoveling snow in early hours to begin with.
But we just don't understand why inmates would be out at 1-something in the morning shoveling snow around a cliff in a prison. I said, what snow are they to shovel? Everything's solid ice, and we just don't understand it.
Hoping to understand the full story sooner than later.
You know, he had his flaws, with drugs, but he was a good person. He had a good heart.
Knuckles was serving a 12-year sentence for drug-related charges. In a news release from the Department of Corrections, all inmate deaths are reported to the Kentucky State Police. In Morgan County, McKinley Caladrino, WYMT Mountain News.
WYMT reached out to the Correctional Center, but were told to call Beth Moore with the Kentucky Department of Corrections, where the following statement was provided to us. Quote, inmate Marvin Knuckles was assigned to the EKCC minimum custody outside detail unit for good behavior. Inmates assigned to this unit outside the prison fence are provided opportunities to work several jobs. Knuckles was assigned to the following: tree farm, road crew, and special detail. When asked who was able to help with the special assignment of ice removal, Knuckles volunteered to assist, end quote. Frozen water lines and pipes have kept one Lexington plumbing company busy this week. Willie Johnson, who is the master plumber for Bryant's Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, says they are constantly going on calls, but the increased volume comes with the cold weather. Calls range from frozen pipes to backed up sump pumps. Many customers are also requesting plumbing inspections. He says this kind of check helps customers catch problems before it's too late.
If we can't do anything with pipes being frozen right now, we'll at least turn the water off so that when they thaw out, they're not going to have a spot where they have split open and just ruining the joist and the floor.
Okay.
Property damage is the main concern for homeowners. Johnson says ice will back up water, causing the pipes to leak and flood crawl spaces. He recommends people insulate their water lines and control the airflow around their pipes. As many schools remain on non-traditional instruction or NTI days, some folks worry about the students at home behind the screen. For some of those students, no school means no meal. WYMT's Neely Green spoke with the Bell County Superintendent about what their district is doing to combat hunger.
They don't care about learning if you can't take care of the basic needs first. So,
for many students, school is a place of learning. It's a place to participate in extracurriculars and a place to make friends. And for other students, school is also a place with a fresh meal, a place with a warm classroom, and a place with caring adults.
part of this job is making sure that the kids are taken care of, and a lot of them are much better off at school as far as conditions go and heat, and definitely feeding them.
As winter weather covered the region with snow this past weekend, many students were stuck at home, and administrators with the Bell County School District made a plan to ensure their students would not go without a meal.
She got in touch with KDE, and we got approval late Friday to be able to send food out with our kids, and so we sent it out in bulk on Friday to try to get through Monday and Tuesday.
On Friday, teachers, administrators, support staff, and cafeteria staff worked together and prepared more than 9,000 packaged meals for the weekend. And as students remain at home under non-traditional instruction, those meals aren't going to stop.
Each day that we're going to be out, we're going to try to have pickups since the roads are starting to clear and we can get parents out and get them available.
Superintendent Brian Crawford says in Bell County they care deeply for their students and will continue the meals for as long as they can.
Hopefully in the future we can continue to do this as long as KD will allow it, and I think they're in it for the right reasons. So.
In Bell County, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
Crawford says parents and students have been very appreciative of the meals and the help the board is providing. One Louisville man was federally indicted in a drug case. We reported back in November Andrew Billingsley was arrested after he was accused of trafficking meth in Pike County. Billingsley and Jonathan Jones were charged in that case. Federal court documents say Billingsley knowingly and intentionally possessed with the intent to distribute 500 or more grams of meth. The Paintsville Fire Department is saying its final farewells to a man who served the community for decades. WYMT's Buddy Forbes shares how firefighters are remembering Ray Reeder.
Ray was one of those guys that absolutely was the epitome of being a firefighter.
Ray Reeder spent more than 3 decades as a dedicated member of the Paintsville Fire Department, using his passion for people to protect the place he called home.
And he was always encouraging others to do the same. Always there, be punctual, be on time, be ready to do the job. And that was him.
Reeder, who served as assistant fire chief for the department prior to his retirement, is known for passing on his passion to others through teaching and mentoring generations of first responders.
I looked up to him to make my decision to become a firefighter.
Fire Chief Edgar Pack Jr. says Reeder was one of a kind.
He was part of the machine, and it impelled you to maybe become part of something like that, you know.
The Paintsville man died Tuesday in an ATV incident, but Pack says the marks he made on the community will last forever.
Very remarkable, and it's unseen this day and time seems to be. Ray is a person that will never be able to be replaced.
And that includes the watermarks. Pack says Reeder was not only known for public service, he was also celebrated for his powerful snapshots, which can be seen proudly displayed throughout the town.
He did a lot of that after his retirement, but he did a lot of it before it. He documented a lot of the major events here in Johnson County through his photography. And he was very, very well known for it.
Those who love him say he always saw the bigger picture. And because of that, he will forever be a part of theirs.
A huge part, a pillar, I would say. And he'll greatly be missed, but he will never be forgotten in the walls of the Paintsville Fire Department.
In Johnson County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
I've seen some of his photography, and he had a great eye. Reeder's funeral is set for Friday at 1 p.m. at Jones Preston Funeral Home in Paintsville. His visitation begins at 11 a.m.
All right, weather headlines for tonight. We'll see a chilly second half of the work week. We're going to keep an eye on a little bit of snow Friday into Saturday. And then late next week, we're talking about a gradual warm-up. Details in the first alert forecast coming up.
And lawmakers return to Frankfort and file more bills.